So me and my father-in-law were going to be traveling to Mexico City, and this is the first time that I've actually gone on a long trip with him alone, because he mostly speaks Spanish and I mostly speak English. So we were communicating best we could, but I was the designated navigator, and that was an experience. But overall, it was pretty fun, and I got to sightsee a lot. This is the first time that I really saw more of Mexico than I had at the time. And I think I was only there for about a month and a half, maybe. But this is the first time that I'm seeing like the Gulf of Mexico, and it was so beautiful. We ended up stopping in this super colorful town, super cute. It was right by the ocean, and man, I wish I remember what the name was that we could go back. But it was really our first major stop where we got some snacks, something to drink, and continued on. Man, the views so far were just fantastic, and this was really just the beginning of a really long drive and a long few days. So the whole reason we're even taking this trip is because we have to return this van that we rented in Mexico City from when we brought all of our stuff over when we moved. And let's just say it got a little hectic because we have to be there at this time by the next day at 6. And I also bought plane tickets to be back in Cancun by 2 a.m. the day after that. So it was literally 3 days of just traveling, and some things happened, and it got a little tough. So after blocking the road for about 10 minutes trying to park, we finally made it into the hotel, and we were actually able to get some rest. The next morning, we ended up and going to a place to get some chilaquiles for breakfast, and we ended up passing through Isla Carmen. And man, it was so cool. They had like a heart-shaped stop sign. We got some stuff to eat, and it was so good. But that morning was insane because it took about an hour for us to get our food, and we were already kind of on a time crunch because we slept in just a little bit because we thought we could. And so now at this point, I think we were on time, but we had about an hour to spare, so we really couldn't afford any more setbacks. And there were a few more setbacks, unfortunately. Pa didn't really have time to eat, so I kept his chilaquiles safe. And then we ended up my favorite part of the trip, where it was just mountains as far as you could see. It was so beautiful. Like, if there's a place I can go visit, it would be here and Mexico City, because it was absolutely gorgeous. But we were, enjoying the views. So far it was pretty good. And at this point, Bob was getting really tired because he was really the only one that could drive, because I don't know how to drive stick, unfortunately. And we ended up getting stuck in traffic for like 2 hours. And we were kind of freaking out because we're like, we don't know how we're going to make it at this point, right? But by the time we get to the outskirts of Mexico City, we got even more bad news. And I guess the guy told us 6 originally, but he actually was only in the office till 3. So we'd lost 3 hours we didn't have. And we were going to get there, I think, right at 6 o'clock or right at like 6:15. And so we were kind of panicking. I couldn't really do much because I can't really communicate with this guy at least well enough to be like, hey, is there anything that we can do? So we were calling our family, they were calling us. We were trying to arrange things with this guy and get a hold of him. But at least in the meantime, I was trying to enjoy what I could see of the outskirts of Mexico City so far, but I was stressing. So eventually we did end up getting a message though from the guy, and he called us and we talked to him. We're like, hey, is there any way we can make this work today? Because we have plane tickets to leave tonight. And he said, you know what? Meet me at this spot and we're all good. I didn't really record much after this though, because it got really hectic with traffic and I was trying to navigate best I could through the city. But overall, it was a great trip. I got to sightsee a lot and eat some delicious food. I got to meet my wife's grandparents, and they even fed us as much as they could, even though we were only there for like 10 minutes. But I'm glad I got to spend the time with Ba, and I wouldn't change it for anything.